Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for the show with no name, and I hope you're ready for liftoff.
9, 8,
Come
7,
on.
6, 5, 4,
Countdown
3,
with me.
2, 1, 0. Ignition.
All right. We've got this, folks. We've got it.
Liftoff.
Give me everything you got. I want it all. I want it all. I want it all.
Hold on to your hat.
And I want it now.
Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready
Oh,
for
yeah.
the ride of your life.
Let's
The
do
show
this.
with no It's show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, folks. Welcome to your exciting English class here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, informative, and freaking awesome. It's Vaughn Radio. Welcome, my amigos. An absolute pleasure to have you here with us. And today's a very special day. We're going to hear from you guys, our show with no namers, and our question of the week. That's for all of you. Great job to Anix, David, Kubla, Laura, Maria Jose, Mario, Monse, Nuria, Salva, and Chris. Are you kidding me? That's right. All of those people have participated in our question of the week. And this week, we're going to take a look at who your role model is. The person you look up to. The person you admire most in this world. And I know we've all got many, many role models, and in different fields too. But we've got some awesome answers, my amigos. That's right. Here on Vaughn Radio. Oh, and do you know about Vaughn Groups? Do you know about Vaughn Groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn Groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn Groups are for you. That's right, folks. Tons of stuff going on here at Vaughn. Special deals not only on our Vaughn Groups, but on materials and all that jazz. So what have you got to do? You got to follow us on social media. You can follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, I mean, all of them. I can't list them all, but we are there. Grupo Von. I'm on most platforms. Not on all of them, but I'm on a lot of them. And, well, it's just another way to make this a full experience, you know? An all-encompassing experience. All-encompassing. Que engloba todo. So you're listening. You're improving your listening by listening to Vaughn Radio every single day, right? But at the same time, now, if you're participating in the question of the week, you're working on your speaking as well. And, you know, this is kind of revolutionary. Of course, you can do that in your typical English class, but this is an online class, a radio class, a live streaming class, a wacky class at that, an interactive class. So you guys can decide how much or how little effort you want to put into it. But if you really want to get into it, you can do it. You can listen to Vaughn all day. We've got amazing shows. We've got 2 brand new shows. We've got shows that have been kicking ass for years, such as The Salad with Dave Boyes. If you haven't heard that show, listen to it. His energy is contagious. And if that weren't enough, you also have an FYI episode every Friday. It drops every Friday. In fact, today, I just dropped the latest episode on bugs. And it's awesome. I just shared the link with you guys. I'm not saying it's awesome because I did it. I'm saying it's awesome because Suzanne, my guest, is awesome. She doesn't even believe. I mean, she knows she's a good teacher, obviously. I mean, if not, you find another profession, right? But she is a great speaker. Like I always tell her, as if it were that easy, you should have your own podcast, Suzanne. You've got a great voice. You've got a lot to say. And if you're not following her, it's on Instagram, Recipes for English. On Twitter, English Smarts. She also has a nature blog called Nature Enchants Me Spain. And her website is Recipes for English. Follow her. It's just another amazing resource. And she's not just a great teacher. She's a great person. And she does little challenges as well, like I do. Multiple choices and quizzes and pop quizzes. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Do it. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, folks, welcome to the Pop Quiz. That's right. This is where we give you a challenge. Sometimes it comes from one of our materials from our bookshop, Vaughn Tienda, which, by the way, go on over if you haven't to vaughntienda.com. Also, if you're in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, or Madrid, well, you guys can stop by in person. And I highly recommend you do that because it's not the same. Okay, you can order something online, and that's great, especially if you're going to order my books. Just kidding. Order any of them. I recommend all of our materials. But it's different when you go in and you talk to Kike or you talk to any of the amazing people we have in our bookshops or in our, even at the radio or in human resources. Well, wherever. We are there to help you guys. And we know, one thing we strive for, nos esforzamos en Vaughan, is to not just know where we are in the company, but to get the, as I said, the all-encompassing, ya lo he usado dos veces hoy, the all-encompassing view of the country. So, the company. Siempre me lío con esas palabras, eh? countries, well, they're run similarly, aren't they? All right, well, folks, all you have to do is stop by in person. If you're not in one of those cities, you can stop by grupovon.com, our website, and vontienda.com if you want to start doing some of that Christmas shopping. And today we're going to look at something coming from the focused translation lists. And I've got to be honest, as a teacher, this is my go-to resource. My go-to, que voy a por ello cada vez que, okay, vamos a hacer algo. You know, if I'm like, oh, nos quedan 5 minutos en la clase, I'm going to do an exercise from here. Or I also use it like, let's say a student makes a mistake with possessive pronouns, for example. Well, then guess what? I've got 2 translation lists here that have to do with possessive pronouns. So we can actually work on that problematic area, that area where they're having difficulty. And that's great. You don't know how many times that's happened. But it's also full of different exercises as well. It's called the Focus Translation Book. Either way, go to the Von Tienda and they can tell you what to get, just depending on also what your needs are. You know, every student is different, every budget. You know, some people, you know, they say money is not it's not an issue. Some people, I wish. It's not my case. But some people are very well off. Adinerado, you say, well off. Another way of saying wealthy or rich. And some people, well, you got to scrape by. Toma, phrasal verb ahí. To scrape by. To scrape es como a rascar. So you're just like barely making it. Apenas llegas a fin de mes. And how do we say llegar a fin de mes? We say to make ends meet. Hacer que los finales se tocan. You know it from a Beatles song. Here we go. Lady Madonna, children at your feet. I wonder how you manage, wait for it, to make ends meet. To make ends meet. The Beatles taught you that one. All right. So today we're going to do a little reverse logic in our pop quiz. What I'm going to do is give you guys an answer, and I want the question that goes with that answer. All right, because normally it's, how are you? I'm fine, right? How old are you? I'm 45. Where are you from? I'm from the state, right? We're going to flip the script today. Vamos a darle la vuelta a la tortilla, as you guys say. And usually we start easy, just to warm up. I think it's good, doesn't matter what level you are, to start easy. So let's start with those. It's Friday. What's the question? We're warming up now, so you don't have to put these in the comments, by the way. In fact, I prefer if you say them aloud. And then I'll tell you the 3 that I want. I'm going to give you 3 of these. But let's warm up. So it's Friday. Let's base it on real life. What day is it? Good. What day is it? Did you say isit? It's not isit. What day is it? What day is it? Y luego vemos dónde lo ponemos el énfasis, porque no es solo what, pausa, it's what day is it? What day is it? What day is it? La duda tiene que estar, si es pregunta. En español también, ¿no? La diferencia en español, además the question marks at the beginning and at the end is, Pablo viene este fin de... No, ready? Pablo viene este fin de semana. Pablo viene este fin de semana? So you know all about that. No te tengo que decir porque tienes que hacerlo. If you don't put the inflection there, are you asking me or are you telling me? In English, luckily, the structure changes. Did you go to the movies? You went to the movies, right? So it's a different, but in Spanish, it's the same structure. So you guys have to be good actors. Buenos intérpretes. All right, so it's Friday. All right, another easy one. We're warming up. We're warming up here. It's November. My birthday month, by the way. You can send all... No, I'm just kidding. It's November. Come on, easy one. What month is it? What month is it? All right. I was born in 1977. In con el año. When were you born, or what year were you born in? Okay. We're gonna turn it up a little bit here now, okay? It takes 20 minutes to make a salad. Por ejemplo, una ensalada. Hey, you gotta take your time. You gotta cut everything. You gotta dice it. To dice. Nosotros decimos hacerlo en dados. Right? To dice. Kind of makes sense, no? So it takes 20 minutes to make a salad. Hey, you gotta be healthy. You know, salads, you can be creative with those things. How long does it take to make a salad? How long does it take? Viste que no he pausado ahí porque esa parte no cambia. La parte, cambiamos a partir del to. Porque ya lo que cambia en cada vez que lo preguntas es el verbo. So how long does it take to make a tortilla? How long does it take to... ¿Ves cómo es? Esto es, repite esto y pone esto al final. Cambiando el final nada más. So, si siempre estamos conscientes, if we're always aware of the part that's repeated, like, siempre uso el ejemplo, I've never been to. Nunca. Pon una lista y practícalo. Lo que cambia es la ciudad. I've never been to Istanbul. I've never been to... ¿Ves? Ya tengo que pensar la ciudad, pero esa parte no cambia. I've never been to Vietnam. I've never been to, right? And the question, have you ever been to tal sitio? Have you ever been to Rome? Yes. I've been to Rome. Y luego practicamos lo mismo. Lo que no cambia. I've been to. Mira, es diferente. I've never been to. I've been to. Y no es been, it's been. Bueno, he oído gente muy inglesa. I've never been there. Mr. Bean. All right. They went that way. Se fueron por ahí. They went that way. Lo típico de una película, ¿no? Follow that cab. They went that way. Do you know it? Which way did they go? Which way did they go? They went that way. Se fueron por ahí. We're going to use Richard's car. We're going to use Richard's car. Whose car are we going to use? Whose car are we going to use? All right. Are you guys ready for your part here? He weighs 77 kilos. That's number one. I want three. I'm going to give you three. I want the answer. The question, excuse me. Here's the answer. He weighs 77 kilos. Okay? Number two. He's 1 meter, 67 centimeters. Number two. He's 1 meter, 67 centimeters. And number three, it took him 6 years to finish college. It took him 6 years to finish college. Tardó 6 años en terminar la universidad. All right, guys. And great job if you're participating along with us. If you want more materials like this, all you have to do is go on over to the Vaughn Tienda, and you can find everything you are looking for. Let's see who's with us in our online classroom today. Let's see. Salva's in the house. We're going to hear from Salva today in our question of the week. Salva says, hey, amigos, something has come up, and I won't be able to listen to the show. I beg to differ. No sé cómo se dice en español. Te llevo la contraria. I beg to differ. What about podcasts? So, Salva, you can listen. You can always listen later, right? The good thing is, this is whatever I say is recorded forever. Wow. So, Salva, if you're listening to this later, hello from the past. I hope you're enjoying the future. Oh, my God. I think something just happened there. By the way, thank you to everybody for the feedback. I forgot to mention. A star is born. Nosotros lo decimos en presente. A star is born, not a star has been born. No, como la película. A star is born, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely Lara, my daughter, she knocked it out of the park. I knew it already. I tested it on family members and friends before it got to your ears. and also students in my community. If you're in my community, you usually get things before. No, you always get wind of things before everybody else. That's part of the benefits. Plus, we have a group chat now on Patreon. This is a new thing. They have a group chat. So every morning I wake up and I chat with the students in my community. That's awesome. I love that. It is, need I say, magical? So thank you. Speaking of magical, the section was absolutely awesome. Not because I say so. Everybody enjoyed it. Lara is to die for. I'm not saying it because she's my daughter. She's teaching us to not get in our heads so much, really to get out of our heads and stop thinking, is this present perfect continuous? Who gives a shit? She doesn't even know what that means. You'll confuse her if you say that. So that's part of the lesson. And we'll do that now as a weekly section, excuse me. So thank you so much again for the feedback. It's just like question of the week. If you guys don't like it, I do it for you guys. So if you don't like it, then we don't do it anymore. Question of the week, we have 10 people participating. 10 people. 10 or 11. I lost count. Wow. So is question of the week working? Yeah. And it's not only working because a lot of people are participating. It's working because you guys are sounding better. We've done it, I think 7 times now, 7 or 8 times. We've had 7 or 8 questions of the week since I think we started the section when we came back from the summer break. And I've seen progress in you guys and your speaking already. So keep it up. So we've got the question of the week, which is a relatively new section. And then we've got Learn with Lara, which will be a weekly section where I record one of my little sessions with my daughter. And every day we're talking about different things. And as I always I tell you guys too, when I'm doing FYI, when I'm doing this, you guys aren't the only ones learning. This is a learning experience for me too, as an individual. Everything, the whole process, being a father, being a teacher, being a radio presenter, now being a producer, because I produce it live, right? The show is produced live. There's no after effects here. So whatever you're hearing, which is sound effects, it's all been prepared with TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls, just stick to the rivers in the way that we used to. TLC. So now I creep, yeah, I baby know, but I creep, ooh, ah. TLC, remember that group? Did you know it stands for Tender Loving Care? Con cariño, ese elemento. I think it's like the magic ingredient in anything. And Lara already knows it. If I make her, the other day I made lentils or soup, I don't know what it was. And she goes, Papi, this is delicious. And I said, well, you know the secret ingredient, right? And she said, love. And I said, that's right. TLC, el toque de cariño. And if you do that, you put a little love into everything you do. Even if it doesn't come out great, well, you don't lose anything, do you? You put everything you got into it. Speaking of that, there's David. David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. What's up? David, welcome. Welcome, and thanks for joining us. There's Born to Iron Man saying, morning, amigos. I know Born to Iron Man was up at the crack of dawn, a primera hora, training, getting ready for today's challenges. And I know he's going to kick some ass. Let's see. Who else? We've got Kubla. Kubla says, how's it hanging? Irreplaceable, ladies and gents. I want to learn with Lara. Where there's a will, there's a way. Willing to trek to the Masai Mara. I mean business, double A. There's a little poetry. Nice. All right. Let's see. Marisol in the house. She says, happy Friday to all of you. Hello, Marisol. Welcome aboard. Great to have you. Victor Cooper's questioned in one of his speeches, why are we always happy on Fridays that usually we work and sad on Sundays that we don't? Our brain is wacky, no doubt about it, Marisol. A little bit of philosophy for us this morning. So much going on here and so much to come. Oops, that's the remix, by the way. Ahora sí, now we're talking. We're going to a quick commercial break, amigos. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to tune in to all the rest of our amazing programs. Right after today's show, you've got Ximena Holiday and her program, Test Your English. Great program, great person, wonderful professional, and Nacho is also on board. You guys can learn English. Hey, that's a good name for the show. Learn with Nacho. So we have Learn with Lara. Well, in Ximena's show, you're learning with Nacho, which I think is a brilliant idea. You know, Nacho's like, well, I can just sit here and be like a lump on a log, aquí como parado, quieto, sin hacer nada, or I can learn English and do the challenges. So a nice round of applause for Nacho. You know, he's not only making the show sound great, but he's also on his toes, espabilado. And Ximena makes sure he's on his toes. Oh boy, she doesn't play around. Have fun with them right after this show on Test Your English, amigos. And right now it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Say What soundbite. We're going to hear from a famous person right now. And I want you guys to tell me what's going on. I want the lowdown on the showdown. Quiero la información. I want you to say a lot in a little. Be concise, but be clear. Be eloquent. I know. It's a tall order. Esta expresión significa estoy pidiendo mucho, but I know who I'm dealing with. Sé con quién estoy tratando. I'm dealing with some super show with no namers who rise to every challenge, no matter how hard it may be. The good thing is, I think this one's going to be relatively easy today. We'll see how you guys do. As you know, you're going to have 4 listens. So everybody ready? Grab a pen, grab a notebook, and write this down.
I said, Commander-in-Chief. Now listen. Bob Iger, who fired me, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett to apologize to her, and that Michelle Obama also got on the phone with them, and that Obama called him afterward to thank him for firing me. So that's in the paper.
All right. The person, they speak a little bit fast. Yes, I'll give you that. But the person pronounces every single syllable, which I think I always appreciate that, when I'm traveling. Because one thing is, understanding Spanish, the one that they teach us in high school. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca, por favor? To, ¿dónde está la biblioteca? ¿Ota? They're like, ¿Ota? What's Ota? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está Ota? So again, hasta luego. It's the same thing in Madrid. Hasta luego. I've never heard anyone say, hasta luego. No. It's too much. We don't want to open our mouths. We're lazy. So why? All right. Hey, that's the way it works, guys. This is why we say gonna in vez de going to, or wanna in vez de want to cada vez. It's just we got to move our mouths too much and we're freaking lazy. All right. So here it is, folks. Your Say What soundbite for the second time.
I said, Commander-in-Chief. Now listen. Bob Iger, who fired me, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett to apologize to her, and that Michelle Obama also got on the phone with them, and that Obama called him afterward to thank him for firing me. So that's in the paper.
All right. So that's in the paper. Oh, I just gave you the last line. All right. Well, that's easy. I expect everybody to participate today. All right. Speaking of participation, we've got a lot of stuff pending here. Elena in our virtual classroom says, hello, everyone. Here we are. Aquí estamos contigo, Sevilla. Aquí estamos contigo, Sevilla. La gira. Oh, what a great song. The Fit. The Fit? You don't know who The Fit is? El Arrebato? My daughter knows what a fit is. Terrible twos. Bueno, ya no tanto. She's learning how to deal with, I tell her, I'm like, we all get angry. We all get frustrated. We all get sad. The question is, how long do you stay? That's not you. That's just you going through something. So you got to get out of it. The same way we're not always going to be happy. And if you think so, well, maybe that's part of the problem. Right? We're human. Like we said before with Marisol, We're like, oh, man, Sunday stinks. I got to work tomorrow. And Fridays, where we're working, we're like, greatest day ever. It's true. It's true. Makes no sense. A lot of times we carecemos, we lack the sixth sense. And what is the sixth sense? Common sense. I see dead people. También es una película, right? All right, so Elena says, hello, everyone. Here we are, where whenever I get the chance, I try to reach out. It makes me start on the right foot. Wow, I got to tell you something. Elena, you sound very native there. Whenever I get the chance, cuando tengo la oportunidad, lo usamos muchísimo. De hecho, es también cuando puedas. Can we have another round when you get a chance, or whenever you get a chance? So it's when you get a chance or whenever you get a chance. Es cuando puedas. You got to learn that one. Esa es otra rafaguilla que tenemos que aprender. All right. Some people participating here in our pop quiz. The first one was dijimos un peso. No me acuerdo ahora. He weighs 77 kilos, for example. Kubla says it's how much does he weigh? Is that correct? Yes. So far, so good. Just be careful. I've heard a lot of people say, how much does he wait? Y eso suena como cuánto espera. So it's how much does he weigh? El verbo es weigh, and weight es peso. Great job. Okay, the next one we said, he's 2 meters. Por the, no, no. How tall is he? Nice job, Kubla. Off to a good start. Empezando con buen pie. And then the last one. Okay, it took him, no me acuerdo cuánto era, 6 years to finish college. And he says, how long did it take him? Fíjate me como la H de him. How long did it take him? Because if not, you have to go take him. O sea, cuando hay respiración, no te compliques mucho. How long did it take him to finish college? That one is also correct. Great job. Elena says, how much does he weigh? How tall is he? And how long did it take him to finish college? Great job, Elena. Wonderful. Born to Iron Man. You've got it as well. Excellent. Laura got it as well. And Laura also says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Laura, we missed your magic. She says it's great to be able to participate live again. I missed you. The feeling is mutual. We hope you had a good time in my pretty, gritty city. Pretty is bonita, and gritty is mugriente, como, a little bit dirty, Hey, you get millions of people living on a little island. No matter how much you clean it, it's going to get dirty. And we won't talk about the subway rats, will we? Okay. Hope you had a great trip, Laura. Great to have you back. All right, we've got our Say What soundbite over here. Tons of people participating. It's great to have you guys all practicing your English with us. Let's see. Kubla says about the Say What soundbite, it sounded like an American lady who was let go. That's a really nice way of saying fired. Okay? Que le echaron de su trabajo. We're going to have to let you go. It's muy diplomático. I like it, Kubla. Great. So it sounded like an American lady who was let go. She said she was sorry and mentioned a former FLOTUS. Great one to know there as well, Kubla. First Lady of the United States. You can say all those words, or you can just say the FLOTUS. The POTUS. The President of the United States. Solo mira sus cuentas en Twitter y verás. There you go. And that something was printed. Great job, Kubla. That's what I'm talking about. Laura says, I heard the voice of an American lady explaining how a former U.S. president called the man who had fired her to thank him for having done so. Laura, great. You said so much. You really said so much in 2 sentences, or 1 sentence. That's 1 sentence. Wow, excellent. Elena says, an American woman explaining the reasons behind her... Cuidado, Elena, pero me encanta que has usado esta palabra, okay? So let's look at it. So, an American woman explaining the reasons behind her layoff. So, layoff is despido. Layoff. To be laid off, so you would say this way para usarlo en el formato que lo tienes tú. Explaining the reasons why she got laid off or why they laid her off. But the noun is a layoff, un despido. But great job, Elena. Good vocabulary. Wonderful. Gerard Gonzalez in the house. He says, hi, Alberto. I listen to you every day. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thank you. Hugs from Argentina. There's an early bird. Gerard, you are definitely going to make progress just because you are up and ready to rock. I hope one day in the future, with my daughter in tow, conmigo, I'd love to visit, and my wife, obviously, my family in tow, love to visit Argentina. But right now, I don't have enough money. So don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you. All through my body, I like my body. I don't know the lyrics. I don't think she says I like my body. Hey, body positive. Body positive, guys. Well, Gerard, I don't want to mispronounce it. Gerard, te lo digo en inglés, y como el futbolista, crack futbolista from Liverpool, Steven Gerrard. I think we heard from him one day. Un día en el Say What's Up. Hi, it's Steven Gerrard from Liverpool. Man, what a legend. What a legend. Well, we've got another legend here as well. All right, what else do we have to do, guys? We've got a lot of stuff to do. So if nobody else has anything to say regarding our Say What soundbite, then we have got to move on to our Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is today's Spelling Bee on the show with no name. And again, I think we've got a lot of different sections here on the show every day, but this is probably the toughest section daily. Okay, some vary. The double trouble can be easier. Homophones can be easier or harder, but this one in general is the toughest one we've got, especially if we're talking about round one. All right? And let's set the mood here. You guys know me. I like to set the mood. All right, here we go. Is everybody ready? This is round one, and good luck. This is going to be really hard today. There are numbers, dates. Oh, wow. Oh, and capitalize everything. Start every word capitalized just for the sake of simplicity. So I don't have to say capital N, capital T. All right, here we go. The first one is PROSTEYSHIY space SPUTNIK space 2. The second one is November 3rd, 1957. The third one is SOVIET space UNION. The fourth one is LAIKA. The fifth one is R-7 space INTERCONTINENTAL space BALLISTIC, whoa, space, we're not done, MISSILE. And the last one is SPACE space RACE. I slowed down a little bit there. That was really fast. Now, if somebody got those, you are in another galaxy. You are out of this world. Una forma de decir extraordinario. Out of this world. So, does anybody know it? Any of my students who are out of this world? Well, you know what's out of this world? Vaughntown. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English. and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town. Lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to groupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. All right, guys, if you want more information about Vaughn Town, you can go on over to our website, groupovaughn.com. Now, I don't think anybody got these unless we are being censored, which, you know what? And now that I think about it, these could be considered a bit controversial here. No, hang on. Wait. It looks like we might have somebody who has figured them out. Let's see. The first, Born to Iron Man, is taking a stab at it. Born to Iron Man, the first one is correct. The second one is incorrect. Oh, man. But close. Let's see the rest. Yes. Nope. So kind of. All right, let's see. We've got Kubla taking a stab at it. The first one, Kubla, is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is perfect. The fifth one looks good to me. And the sixth one is... correct! Nice job, Kubla! Wow, wonderful job over there. All right, well, folks, this is round 2 of your spelling bee, and I expect everybody to be able to figure this one out. Is everybody ready? Let me set the tone. Let me find, where is my... Here we go. There it is. All right. Well, I got a lot of effects here. Just remember, I have 10 different names in my soundboard. Your names are in my soundboard. Oh, yeah, it's true. All right, here we go. Let me lower it. Lo voy a bajar un poco. Because it's good to have background noise. It's real life. In real life, I can barely hear on my phone because my daughter's screaming in my ear. So that's real life. Okay? I'm going to lower it, though. I don't want to make it like, if it's like this, then you can't hear me at all, right? That's New York City decibels. But if I bring it down here, then I think you can still hear me clear enough. All right. The first one is PROSTEYSHIY. Space. SPUTNIK. Space 2. Siempre me olvida ese 2 porque creo que es el número 2. The next one's a date, November 3rd, 1957, Born to Iron Man. You went 10 years into the future there. The third one, SOVIET space UNION. The fourth one is LAIKA. The fifth one is R-7 space INTERCONTINENTAL. Whoa. Space BALLISTIC space MISSILE. See, I even have to take breaths. Tengo que tomar. And I'll tell you something. That one, number 5, is 1, 2, 3. Number 5 could be a spelling bee on its own, right? And number 6, I think, is quite easy. Number 6 is SPACE space RACE. All right. There you go, amigos. We're going to come back down to earth now. Let's see if anybody else got these words. I'll tell you why I chose these words. Today in history, in the year 1957, not 1967, 1957, the Sputnik, or Sputnik, as they say, I think. We say Sputnik in English. The Sputnik program was launching Sputnik 2. Sputnik 2, this was launched by the Soviet Union. And why was this important in the space race, as they call it? Y ya hemos visto varias palabras. Número 3 es Soviet Union, Unión Soviética. The first one is the name of the mission in Russian. Protesteishi Sputnik 2. Okay? We call it Sputnik 2. What else? The date was the date, 1957. Today, Soviet Union was number 3. Number 4 was Laika. That was the dog's name who went up into orbit. And then number 5 was, this is it's a really difficult one, R-7, o sea, R-7, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. Now, what is that? Well, that's what they used. They adapted that missile to turn it into a rocket to put the dog into orbit. And again, it was a dog named Laika. And the 6th one was the space race. Okay? The space race, which was that race to dominate space between the Soviet Union, the former Soviet Union, and the United States. And poor Laika, what happened to Laika? Well, Laika, they kind of were sacrificing her. They didn't think Laika was going to make it. Nobody was betting on her. So sadly, she died of overheating. Se sobrecalentó, which now is animal cruelty. She died of overheating a few hours into the flight when the craft was in its 4th orbit, su cuarto órbito. So poor Laika. I don't like that story. Oh, all right. I'll stop. And only because we've got to go to a commercial break, or else I'd keep going with the jokes. All right, folks. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, and free. It's free. You guys have free English classes every day with the greatest teachers out there, and I'm not including myself. I'm talking about Ximena Holiday. I'm talking about Kyle Miller. I'm talking about Richard Vaughn. Fitz. I mean, pros. It's an honor to be a part of a team of such heavyweights. Antes miramos, how much does he weigh? Well, a heavyweight es un peso pesado. And I'm not talking about their physical weight. I'm talking about their weight in the world of English learning. And if you want to learn with us, download the free Vaughn Radio app, and you can learn with us on the go. If you're looking for materials, VonTienda.com. You can also call us if you want, 911 385831. And if you're in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, or Madrid, stop by. We'd love to meet you. This is Vaughn Radio, and this is the show with no name, folks, where you, my show with no namers, have a voice. And we're going to hear from you guys. We're going to hear your lovely voices in this week's question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, folks. That's right. It's question of the week over here on the show with no name. And that's right. It's about time. Yeah, era hora. We're going to hear from you guys. And first, again, thank you for all the effort. Because when you guys send me your audio, a lot of times, you write a little something. So thank you, just for taking the time, for caring enough to do it and to participate. And that shows me that, what does that tell the teacher? It tells me that you are totally driven. So keep it up, each and every one of you who participated. And if you haven't participated, well, maybe next week will be your first time. And this isn't the first time for our amiga Anix. Let's hear from her. We're going to hear her. We're going to rewind. We're going to hear who her role model is.
Morning, guys. This is Anix. What I'm about to say, it might sound weird, but my role model is my dog because she knows how to live happily. If you take her to the beach, she enjoys. If she goes to the mountain, she enjoys. She doesn't judge anything, anybody, and she lives the life to the fullest. And I would like to do that without worrying, without judging, just enjoying the small things. That's a wonderful way of life, I guess. Okay, guys, bye-bye.
Oh, wow. Anix, great answer. Wow, really good answer. Seriously, you're like, I look up to this guy or girl. Your dog, I know that you are a dog lover, Anix, but it's true. I remember before little Simon passed away, antes de que falleciera mi perrete. I don't even want to think about it. He was my best friend. I remember looking at him and like, man, you really know how to do it, huh? You really got it all figured out. Lo tienes todo controlado. He knew how to be happy. And we were just saying that before, weren't we? Marisol brought it up. Humans, we have this problem with being happy. Like, we want to be happy, but we just can't seem to do it, even when we're doing what we want to do. It's human nature. And dogs, they have this, they're not that complicated. They're not like, oh, yeah, but then if somebody's doing it better than me, then I'm not going to have fun. They don't overthink it. And I think it's great to think. Don't get me wrong. People who don't think are idiots. Honestly, if you don't think, critical thinking, right? But if you overthink, you can lead yourself to get anxiety, ansiedad, depression. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you from experience. Hello? So I agree, Anix. We can look up to dogs and their way of just enjoying life, panting. I love it when they're smiling, running on the beach. I mean, I had a very clear image in my head of what Anix said. So wonderful job, Anix. And you've participated every single week. Don't think I haven't noticed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna hear from another fellow student of yours. Let's hear from David.
Hi, my name is David from Palma de Mallorca. My biggest role model is Rafa Nadal because he's determined and resolute to be the best tennis player in the world since he was little. His help when he's been required. For example, I remember when he drained water in the flat of San Llorenç in Mallorca. He sent videos cheering up people with cancer. And he lives a healthy life. He doesn't do drugs, and he has respect for other people, um, other tennis players, or ordinary people.
David, awesome. Not only did you do a great job, but awesome role model. I mean, oh my God, Rafa Nadal. I don't care if you like tennis or not. That is an example to follow. When you see Rafa Nadal, not just his actions on the court, which on the court says a lot about you too, but also his actions off the court. And as you said, David, sending videos to kids who are suffering from some kind of disease. Just be careful. A couple words I want to tweak over there. I think you said determined, so it's determined. He's determined. That means he's driven, motivado. He will stop at nothing to do what he wants to do. He's relentless, implacable, but he also practices good sportsmanship, deportividad. So he is, and I'll never forget, I think it was a time where he beat, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm no tennis expert. There is an FYI episode on tennis, if you haven't heard it. But correct me if I'm wrong. I remember watching it live on TV, and I never watched tennis. I just happened to catch a historic moment, and maybe he does this very often, but he beat Roger Federer, who's another great tennis player, and I don't know anything about tennis, but I know he's, in the pantheon. And he beat him, and he was pretty fucked. He was choked up. I mean, he didn't expect it, or he was hurt by the loss, and it's natural. The same way we celebrate a victory. And Rafa Nadal just went over to him, and what he did was like held the trophy and put it up in front of him, and he said, "This is yours too, man. I mean, you're great. You're amazing. You have nothing to cry about, And the way I saw him go over there and console him, instead of being like, in your face, bitch, in your face with a can of mace. No, quite the contrary. He was like, all right. So you got to know how to win and to lose humbly, right? With humility. I'm teaching Lara that now. As a child, you think, well, I want to win again. I'm like, oh, I want to get everything on the first go. It doesn't work like that. And wonderful job. Determined was that word that you mispronounced, but I think the rest were pretty great. And what a wonderful role model. Great job, David. All right, up next, we're going to hear from our buddy Kubla.
Hey, it's Kubla. My role model has to be the one who was born in Bethlehem on December the 25th, way, way back. He led by example. He was humble, generous, temperate, patient, lovable, and a superb orator. He grew his hair and a beard and often wore a white tunic. He turned a blind eye to serious sins and misbehaviors and rubbed shoulders with felons and crooks. When he was eventually bestowed with his almighty power, he never thought of retaliating against those who had humiliated and done him in. He was admirable and exemplary. Thank you. Blessed.
You know who he's talking about? The guy born in Bethlehem? Belen? Ring a bell? Awesome. Great job, Kubla. I had to put in there. The wrath of God. It's true. Hey, it's true. I always tell you guys, I'm not the most religious guy on the planet, but when you look at those things that Kubla brought up, patience, not being vengeful, no siendo vengativo, it is. And I love what you said too, Kubla. You said he led by example, predicó, literalmente, no? He preached, he practiced what he preached, nunca mejor dicho. He led by example. And you said the guy from, I love how you were a little bit not crypt. I mean, obviously we know who you're talking about, Jesus Christ. And what I loved is that you said that the guy from Bethlehem who was born on December 25th, although if I'm not mistaken, that's debated, right?
I think they just said the 25th is good. Just make it the 25th. But I heard that is that, I don't know. Either way, we're not here to debate biblical facts. I got to say, Kubla, you sounded great. You also used some great expressions. You said to turn a blind eye, hacer la vista gorda, to look the other way, es otra forma de decirlo, to turn a blind eye, to look the other way. And what else? You also said to rub shoulders, codearse, I think you say. And so amazing job, Kubla. And sure, great choice. I gotta say, you guys, no wonder you guys are so awesome. You have some serious role models here. All right, let's see who's up next over here. We're gonna hear from lovely Laura.
Hi, Alberto. Hi, everyone. It's Laura. The people I admire the most are my parents. They have been married for 61 years and they are still in love. They have stuck together through thick and thin. They have always been there for each other as well as for me and my 3 siblings. And they have managed to instill great values in all of us, especially honesty, kindness, fairness, perseverance, and above all, the importance of family and friends and keeping everyone together. They have 11 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. And in spite of the fact that they are quite elderly now, they keep helping everyone whenever they can. They are the most loving, generous, selfless, courageous, and hardworking people that I know. And that's why they are my role models, without a doubt. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
That was a little magic. Wow, Laura. I hope you play this for your parents. Y se lo traduces. It's heartwarming. Me calienta el corazón, como decimos en inglés. It's heartwarming. It's simply beautiful what you just said there, Laura. And it's great that you look up to your folks. I can tell that your folks did a wonderful job raising you and your siblings. As you said, you have a big family. Of course, you're Italian. My Italian family is huge. The Sicilians, the Napoli, they're huge. So that's cool. As we say, strength in numbers. Cuanto más somos, más fuerte somos. And 61 years, not only 61 years of marriage, but 61 years of marriage, and they're still in love. They are happily married. That's magic. That is magic. And they've been together because we all know, as we said, you're not happy. It's not all good times. Life doesn't work like that. So you got to be together through thick and thin. A little totally native for you over there, Laura. And your parents sound as amazing as you. And that tell them, bravo, signori. Bravo. Filia's daughter. Filia, prego. Oh, son, don't listen to. Great job, Laura, and your parents sound as amazing as you, as I said. All right, let's see. It's going to be hard to top Laura's. I mean, you've all done a wonderful job, but Laura's was truly heartwarming. Te calienta. No es heartwarming, bonito, no? All right, here's Maria Jose from Valencia. I love how she pronounces it too. And Maria Jose has been participating every week, like many of you. Keep up the great work.
Hi there, it's Maria Jose from Valencia. Who's my role model? Who do I look up to? Well, my role model doesn't have a name because it's people. To start with, people who are resilient, consistent, people who fall, go back up, that's tough, and keep on trying to get their objectives, to reach their goals. Like you, Show with No Namers. You push me to keep it up. Thank you. Next, experts at something. People who know a lot about a subject, but they don't show off. They don't brag. They explain things to you in a simple way, in layman's terms, to teach you, like you, Alberto. Thank you. And last but not least, my dear elderly people who don't give in to the rage, but instead they show a broad smile on their faces, thinking, believing that there are still things to do, that there are still things to try, the lives there to live, to enjoy it. And that was it. Thank you. See you.
Wow. All right, Laura. It's good competition. Wow. I said that you were a hard act to follow, but Maria Jose followed you beautifully. And I even, wow, she said us, people like us. Maria Jose said it's not one person. It's a kind of people. It's 3 different things that I like, or 3 things that attract me or turn me on about people. And one of those is resilience, right? Resilience, you're never giving up. She used a totally native. When you fall down, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you get back on the horse. So great job over there. Also, humble experts. Yeah, the worst thing you got is somebody's like, I'm an expert in everything. Like when people say, Alberto, you're the master at English. I'm like, please, no. That's not my, I'm not trying to be that. I'm just trying to make sure my students learn. And as you said, and I try and explain it in layman's terms. Another, en términos sencillos. So unbelievable job, Maria Jose. Just when I thought you couldn't top Laura's because it was, family oriented and we all love family, or should. Laura, you knocked it out of the park because you sent a special shout out to us, your show with no namers. And thank you for inspiring us with that beautiful message. And it wasn't just Maria Jose that you expressed yourself beautifully, but I felt the emotion in your voice. And that's awesome. That is really cool that you can communicate your feelings in another language. It's not easy. All right, let's hear from Mario.
Hi. To tell you the truth, I feel that I've never had a role model to follow. I mean, I've looked up on lots of people since I was a kid, but I've always tried to stay in my lane and follow my intuition. However, when it comes to teaching, I do consider some teachers I had in the past source of great wisdom and inspiration. I ultimately became a teacher myself, and now, paradoxically, can feel thankful enough for all the learning I've been through. I also want to give props to the one and only Alberto Alonso, who also inspired me and taught me that both teaching and learning can be fun. Keep it up, buddy.
More magic over there. Wow. Mario, again, you not only sounded good, but you were transmitiendo, you were conveying emotion in what you said. And again, one thing is, lo estoy diciendo bien, and another thing is, me sale, ¿no? Como quiero decirlo. And I know it as somebody who speaks Spanish very, very well. Expressing your emotions, your feelings about something, defending your point of view isn't easy. It's one of the hardest things. Thus, question of the week. So I urge you all to participate in the question of the week. I've got to say, I am blown away. You should all be very proud of yourselves. Just be careful. Mario said, you said to look up on somebody, pero sería to look up to somebody. You also got a for saying, I want to give props, crédito, muy nativo. That's totally native. I want to give props to Alberto. He also used another expression to stay in your lane, no meterte en los asuntos, no, es quedarte en tu carril. So, wow, Mario, wonderful, wonderful job. And I am thoroughly impressed. Let's see what Monse has to say.
Hello, Chobino Namers. This is Monse. How are you? About the question of the week, I have 2 fears. One is to snakes. I'm really afraid of snakes. And my biggest fear is to open sea waters. I'm so afraid of sharks, giant octopuses, and these kind of things. I don't know why. I never see one. I never saw a shark. I never saw a croctopus or whatever. But, well, fear is irrational, so it doesn't have to have a reason, right? Okay, see ya, guys.
Great job, Monse. Now, I played it, I didn't realize, but it's okay. It's all right. She answered last week's question of the week, which was, what is your biggest fear? And she said, snakes. I know that one really well, unfortunately. I'm petrified of snakes. And she said, open water, like the open sea. You know what, Monse? Me too. Yeah. I've never seen it. Well, I've seen sharks in aquariums, but not in their natural habitat. I've never been swimming and run into a shark, thankfully. And careful, it's not Octopussy. Eso es la película de James Bond. Es octopus, sin la Y, octopus, all right? And yeah, I know what you mean too. And she said, it's not like I've seen these animals or come in contact with them. It's an irrational fear. But as she explained eloquently, sometimes fear is just that. It's irrational. Why am I afraid of dead people? They're not going to, like my mother said, they're not going to do anything to you. They can't. It's impossible. Be afraid of the people who are alive. Those are the ones that can hurt you. I remember her saying that. I'm like, yeah, actually, that's true. But as we've been saying throughout the whole show today, since Marisol brought it up, humans aren't always rational beings. Well, great job to Monse. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to do the homophones section. And then when we come back from our commercial break, we'll listen to a couple more students. But right now, it's time for homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's time for homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, this is where we take a look at two words that tend to be tricky and we demystify these words. But first, I want to see if you're familiar with them and if you know how to pronounce them. So first, I want you to tell me the words. And then secondly, I want you to tell me if they sound exactly the same as well. And I was just thinking something. I didn't give you guys the say what soundbite in this section, did I? Did I give it to you? All right, well, I'm going to give that to you first before I forget. And if I did give it to you, because today we've got a lot of madness here, a lot of people participating, which is awesome, but sometimes I'm a bit forgetful on a normal day. So here's your say what soundbite, and then I'll give you the homophones.
I said Commander-in-Chief. Now listen. Bob Iger, who fired me, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett to apologize to her, and that Michelle Obama also got on the phone with them, and that Obama called him afterward to thank him for firing me. So that's in the paper.
All right, there you go, folks. And you'll hear that one more time a little bit later on in the show, my amigos. All right, so what have we got to do? Oh, homophones, right. And then we'll take a commercial break and we'll check them when we come back. The first word is shafts of light. So you say rayos de luz, no de relámpagos, okay? So rayos, like the sun, for example. Also, it's mantarraya. We were just talking about aquariums. My goodness, I didn't even plan that. It's also on the musical scale, it's do, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, da. It's the second one. Do, it's that one. Okay? But I want it in plural. So rayos is the word. Okay? And the second word is levantar algo, subir algo, alzar, to lift it into the air. And amigos, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with tons more Show With No Name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth. Oh my God, can you believe it? The fourth and final part of today's show with No Name. And we've heard from a lot of our show with No Namers today, and I'm impressed. In this part of the show, we still have to hear from Nuria, Salva, and Chris Valrol. So that's exciting. Plus, we've got to check our homophones. We got Double Trouble, famous birthdays. We also have the Say What soundbite, and so much more, amigos. Lots to do here on the show. I hope you guys are having fun. And I hope next week will be the first week that you participate in our question of the week. Why not? Why not? What are you waiting for? Well, nobody's laughing at anybody when they make a mistake. In fact, it's a perfect opportunity to give your opinion in English, which is one of the hardest things to do. But not for you guys. You're doing a wonderful job, and I hope you continue to do a wonderful job. Because we've got more challenges. We're not done. No way. We still have to solve our Say What soundbite as well. And speaking of our Say What soundbite, why don't we kick off this part, before I forget, with the Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
I said, Commander-in-Chief. Now listen. Bob Iger, who fired me, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett to apologize to her, and that Michelle Obama also got on the phone with them, and that Obama called him afterward to thank him for firing me. So that's in the paper.
There you go, folks. That is the fourth listen. The good news is we've got some people who got it already. Please give it up for Kubla and Laura. Wow. Great job, guys. Kubla and Laura, you nailed it. Wonderful, wonderful job. We'll take a look at who it is and all that in a little bit. But right now, we've got to take a look at our homophones or not homophones. Let's see what you guys had to say. The first one to participate is Daniela. What's up, Daniela? Great to have you on board. And those are the correct words, Daniela. And she says they are homophones. Okay. Kubla, those are the correct words. And Kubla says they sound the same as well. Okay. Let's see. Who else? Elena. Elena says they are undoubtedly homophones. Like, no me vengas con tonterías, hombre. Stop screwing around, Alberto. They are undoubtedly homophones. All right, well, we'll find out in a moment. Laura says the two words are and I would say they're not homophones. Oh, wow, interesting. So are these words homophones or not? Well, first, let me tell you a little bit about Oxford English.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, folks. If you want more information, you can get it at our website, grupovon.com. Also, make sure you're following us on social media. All right, time for homophones. The first word, let's look at it in singular. Ray. Ooh, there's a ray of light. And we use it the same. También una esperanza. There's some hope. Oh, I see a ray of light. Right? So it's not just You know, another way we say tomar el sol is to catch some rays. Muy buena esta, eh? To pillar unos rayos. I'm going to catch some rays. 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 Also, Ray's is a famous pizzeria in New York. I'm sure Laura is familiar with Ray's. Have you tried Ray's Pizza? It's a chain, but their pizza's damn good. It's hard to get bad pizza in New York. Now, if you're comparing it to Italian pizza, it's a different thing. Just like Chicago, deep dish pizza. I don't call that pizza. Sorry, amigos in Chicago. All right, so Ray's Pizza. Okay, the rays of the sun are very bright. And to raise es levantar algo, to raise. So they're going to raise the rent. Van a subir el alquiler. They're going to raise the rent because the sun's rays hit the house. Ridiculous sentence, but I want you to hear them together. Okay? And also remember, a raise is also un aumento de salario. So he asked for a raise, but the boss said that he was always laying out, soaking up the sun's rays. He wasn't working. So raise. The British say rise, right? He got a rise. We say he got a raise. All right, so yes, they are homophones. Doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. There it is. Do, re, mi, fa. Do, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, do, re, mi, me, a name I call myself. I can't remember the rest, but guys, it's all there. All right, but we've got to move on because I want to hear from other students in our question of the week. So everybody, your undivided attention. We're going to hear from Nuria.
Hi, Alberto and friends. How are you doing? This is Nuria once more. Well, and regarding this week's question, who's my role model? Without a doubt, my parents were always a good example to follow. They were and still are my heroes, and let me explain why. I come from a blue-collar family. My father worked in a company, and in his spare time he was an electrician, his true passion. My mother managed multiple tasks at a time and still found time for the family. I couldn't be any prouder. They deserve all the best. Take care, amigos. Thank you.
Wow, Nuria, there's another one. There's another one. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Nuria, excellent. I mean, who's better than your parents? I mean, those should be your role models, right? The people you look up to, the people that are closest to you, especially during, the most important years of your life as far as development, desarrollo is concerned. So lovely, Nuria. Just be careful with the pronunciation. No es model, it's model. Model. Y la D no es tan th. So it's model. My role model, right? Also, she said a great word there. I come from a blue-collar family. Obrero, trabajador. No, we're not rich. We have to work, right? And they were able to support their kids, not just financially, but as we can see from Nuria, raising them to be amazing. Oh, and there's the word raise. We just looked at another meaning of that word raise is criar, no? My mother raised 2 children, to raise. We use it too. I was born and raised in Spain. I was born and raised in Spain. All right, excellent job there, Nuria. Wonderful. Very heartfelt. Se nota que viene del alma. It's very heartfelt. And ladies and gentlemen, we're also going to hear from our amigo, Salva.
Hi, Alberto and classmates. This is Salva. My role model is my Uncle Carlos, but don't worry. He's not the one I told you about, whose house was full of tarantulas. This one is my godfather and a mathematician. My story begins when I was a teenager at secondary school. Back then, I was having a hard time with that subject. When he learned about my struggles, he stepped in and decided that we would go over my homework twice a week. I remember sitting next to him at his living room table, the TV on because there was an interesting basketball game and the ashtray full of cigarette butts as he has always been a heavy smoker. After a while, all that effort paid off, and I got decent marks at my exams. His motto is that life is a long distance race. Don't give up at the first hurdle and keep on trying. Going the extra mile always pays off. Be the best version of yourself day in, day out, and eventually you will get farther than you ever thought. That's all.
Great job, Salva. There's, something to get you motivated today. Wow, Salva, if I put some epic music under it, you would sound like a coach, como un entrenador. And that's great, man, that he made that effort and it paid off. Ahí tienes un totally native. De hecho, dijo varias hurdle, un obstáculo también lo que saltan, la valla cuando están haciendo atletismo. So excellent vocabulary, Salva. And it's great that you have family members that took the time and the effort and the patience that it takes to teach anybody anything. Believe me, I know it with Lara. She's learning a lot now, but first 2 years, they're just absorbing. You have to be very patient as a teacher, as a student, and trust. As we always say, trust the process. Tienes que fiarte del proceso. If you're following, your heart, your passion, your gut, tu instinto. And he said, it's a long distance race. Una de mis favoritas is slow and steady wins the race. Y esto significa sin pausa ni prisa, ¿no? Slow and steady es constante. Slow and steady wins the race is what we say. And it's the classic tale of the tortoise and the hare. La tortuga y liebre. I'm sure you guys all know that tale. So wonderful job. Great job, Salva. And last, but certainly not least, she got it in at the buzzer, but I took it. Why? Because she's awesome. And also, I know that she was traveling. She was here in Madrid. Your classmate that you know and love, Chris Valrol.
Morning, show no namers. It's Chris Valrol. Aside my parents, I've had a lot of role models throughout my life. I mean, grandpas, uncles and aunties, teachers. What great teachers I had. They also led me along the way. But I think my parents take the cake. Why? Because they instilled core values in me, and in my book, they did an excellent job because my life is great and I achieved every single thing I decided to do. Thank you. Have a great show and a great weekend.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your classmate. Wow. Chris. In my book, en cuanto a mí, in my book, wow, very good expression. Another one, she says, my parents take the cake. You say, se llevan la palma. Nosotros decimos la tarta. And to instill, that's a good word that we looked at today, inculcar, to instill values, core values, as she said. And also just one little correction or adjustment. I think you said, aside my parents. Sería aside from, no, como frase hecha, aside from, aparte de mis padres. So excellent job to all of you. I am impressed. Keep up the great work. And hopefully you guys will participate again next week. If you didn't participate, well, maybe next week will be your first time. But right now, I need your participation for today's Double Trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble, only on the show with no name, folks. Only on the show with no name. It's Double Trouble. And guess what? I've given you a few clues throughout the show. We already looked at the word in question. So if you were paying attention and you know a couple things, a thing or two about some vocabulary in English, I think you guys are going to nail it today. I have a good feeling. I have a hunch. Here we go. Levántate, pero una forma bonita de decirlo. Levántate, con voz cariñosa, vamos a decir. Levántate, cariñito. Okay? That would be the translation of part one. And the second part is, solo estaba intentando hacerte saltar. Sacarte de tus casillas. Iker casillas. Okay, all right, bad. All right. Anoche. So let me finish. Ahora lo termino, sin bromas. Levántate. Solo estaba intentando hacerte saltar o sacarte de tus casillas anoche. Sacarte de quicio, you say, as well? Uy. Totalmente nativo. Me está sacando de quicio. O de mis casillas. You like it? See, I know these expressions in Spanish. I'm learning some idiomatic expressions too every day. Still, after 20 years living here in the country, I'm learning every day. I learn things in English every day. I'm like, oh, well, firstly, English is a growing language. So, you know, there's vocabulary that's new. There's vocabulary that's kind of changed meaning, that's become passé or outdated. That happens all the time in every language. So the first part is, levántate. Solo estaba intentando hacerte saltar barra sacarte de tus casillas anoche. You have to use the same word twice. And in the meantime, to buy some time, comprar un poco de tiempo, we're going to start today's famous birthday trivia. For you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. That's right, amigos. Welcome to our famous birthdays section. But hang on one second. We've got somebody who's trying to figure out today's Double Trouble, and that's Laura. And let's see what she got. Laura says, rise and shine. Laura, so far, so good. Rise and shine means despierta. Es una forma, piénsalo, levanta y brilla. Rise and shine, right? Up and at 'em. Son dos formas de decir, vamos a por el día, right? Rise and shine. Up and at 'em, que es up and at them, pero nadie dice them. Up and at 'em, okay? I say this to my students a lot of time in our chat group on Patreon, right? So, Laura, part one, perfect. Rise and shine. I was only trying to get a rise out of you. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! To get a rise out of someone. Hacer que saltes. Piensa, levantar, we looked at before. Hacer que te levantes un poco. It's a good way to remember it. So, rise and shine. I was only trying to get a rise out of you, Laura. Killing it. Que en inglés es algo positivo. All right, famous birthdays. Number one, this guy was born in 1978. He's an American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. He is the lead singer of one of my favorite bands. Yep. The band is called Rise Against. We know the word rise. We looked at raise. Rise today. So the band is called Rise Against. And this band, starting with him, is straight edge. Do you know what that means? That means they don't do drugs or drink alcohol. So they are straight edge, es como se llama. Because it's weird to see that, especially in the entertainment industry. You know, in show business, there's a lot of drug use, unfortunately, and alcohol. Not use, abuse, I should say. And these guys, that's not their thing. So it's cool. It's setting a good example for students. And it's punk rock. It's like hard rock, punk rock. And the group is called Rise Against. It's not Rage Against the Machine. It's Rise Against. And he's the lead singer. Number 2, this guy was born in 1921. He's an American actor. He was known for Machine Gun Kelly, The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape. And I got to say, this guy always played a tough guy. Un tío super duro. You don't want to mess with him. Oh, and of course, Death Wish, which was a very controversial film, which was about an architect turned vigilante. Yeah, we say vigilante. Pero vigilante is someone who takes justice in their own hands, right? So that is number 2. Number 3, she's an American actress and comedian. She had her own show. I can't tell you the name of it because it's her name. It was a very popular show. John Goodman played her husband. I love John Goodman. Oh, man. And she's funny. She's got like a weird, wacky kind of voice. But I guess that's why she's been in show business for so long. Although she's gotten in trouble for tweets, right? She has been condemned as racist. So again, people are trying to cancel her. But I always say, you know, you don't have to agree with everybody. I could agree with her or not. But everybody has a right to express themselves. I think. I mean, that's what I was always taught from the idea of freedom of speech. We don't have to agree, but we all have to be able to. So I've never agreed to this cancel this, cancel that, cancel it. I'm like, guys, focus on bringing people up. Focus on, like, you know, making people rise like the phoenix. There's that word rise again. It keeps coming up. All right, well, our birthday boys and girls, number 1, Tim McIlrath from Rise Against. You know who's a huge fan of this group? Rob Grams. He loves Rise Against as well. Number 2, Charles Bronson. Tough guy extraordinaire, Charles Bronson. And number 3, Roseanne Barr. And that'll bring us over to our Say What soundbite. It's Roseanne Barr. And she was talking about how she was fired from ABC or CBS, no me acuerdo, el que tiene Disney. The network that Disney, creo que es CBS. I don't care. Me da igual todas estas cosas. But my point is, it's a big network, and she was fired because of that tweet. And this is her telling the story. And she says, I said commander-in-chief. Commander-in-chief is a way to say the president, or the leader. She goes, now listen, Bob Iger was the CEO or president of Disney. Then he stepped down, and now he's back. So Bob Iger, and Disney's losing a lot of money. So I don't know what he's doing there. But Bob Iger, who fired me, quien me echó, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett. Now, I don't know who that is, to apologize to her. And that Michelle Obama also got on the phone, se puso al teléfono with them, and that Obama called him afterward, después, no afterward, sino afterwards, suena como palabra, to thank him for firing me. O sea, estaban celebrando que me echaran. That's why I don't like cancel culture. It's like, wait, we don't lynch people, period, right? Right? We're playing with people's lives here because you disagree with them. And she says, so that's in the paper. O sea, todo está en los periódicos. Lo puedes leer. So here she is, Roseanne Barr.
I said commander-in-chief. Now listen. Bob Iger, who fired me, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett to apologize to her, and that Michelle Obama also got on the phone with them, and that Obama called him afterward to thank him for firing me. So that's in the paper.
All right, great job to all of you Show with No Namers. Unbelievable job today. I am totally impressed, and you should be proud of yourselves. So hats off to you guys. You've done a wonderful job all week, and I hope you'll join us next week on the show. We're going to have tons of fun, as we always do, and you'll have tons of fun if you stay tuned, because we've got my amiga Ximena Holiday up next with Test Your English. I'll see you guys soon, all right? Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. All right, ciao for now, amigos.